this. This is the collection that ColourPop wishes they made. Guys, I am so excited because today I have the brand new Lethal Cosmetics collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Y'all, this collection is how brands should do collab collection. I did not play when it came to this collection. Let me tell you all about it. Okay guys, so Lethal Cosmetics reached out and asked if I wanted to play with the new Avatar collection. I was like, yes, please. Please, for the love of God. Because I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now I know like a year or two ago, ColourPop came out with their own version, and while it was cute, Lethal Cosmetics kindly put them to shame. So this is the brand new Avatar: The Last Airbender collection. First off, can we talk about the makeup bag that we have right here? This is Appa. This is Aang's flying bison, and is it not the cutest thing in the world? And they have a little Momo zipper right here, and when you open it up, you will see the gorgeous flying bison and Momo on the inside, along with, well, what I shoved in here because it didn't come with, the stuff didn't come in here, but I shoved it in here. Look at how cute this is. Absolutely adorable. So freaking adorable. Next in this collection, they launched 4 eyeshadow palettes. That's right, I said 4 eyeshadow palettes. The first one they're launching is the water bending palette, or the water palette. This palette is a monochromatic blue. Can we talk about how gorgeous this is? I mean, like... It is absolutely stunning. I think it really does hit the mark on water bending. Like when I saw this, I was truly blown away. Next, they are launching the earth bending, aka the earth palette. Now this is another beautiful palette right here. I think this really hits the mark on earth bending. You see all those beautiful brown and green shades in here with different multi-chromes. Absolutely stunning. Really am impressed with how beautiful this palette is. Next, we do have the fire palette right here. Now this is a really beautiful palette. Now you guys know that I'm generally not a big fan of red palettes, but this one really was gorgeous. I feel like the only thing they missed was a blue shade for Azula, because she is so unbelievably angry that her fire bending actually blue. She's able to do blue fire because of how disturbed her character is. I feel like there's the only thing missing from this palette, but other than that, I think it's a really beautiful palette. And lastly, they do have the air bending palette, aka the air palette right here. This is going to be a great tribute to Aang and his fellow airbenders. Again, another beautiful palette, which you guys will see coming up. I have 4 looks for every single palette, and if you line them up, I'm doing a horrible job, they do make a really cool symbol on the very back. So I thought that was actually really cool. Next, this collection also rolls out with 4 liquid and duochrome liners. So the first one we have is Katara's set, and this is going to come with this beautiful like deep blue, light blue, like golden monochromatic shift. This is absolutely gorgeous. It pairs with a beautiful matte blue liner. I was really impressed with how beautiful the quality of this is, and I love that Katara is having her own moment because she is one of my favorite in the show. So she has hers. Next, Toph has her moment as well, and the green shift on this duochrome, oh my god, it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it comes with a deep green, and I feel like Toph is one of those characters who, she does have a disability because she's blind, but she's given her moment to shine with how powerful she is as an earthbender, because she could actually bend metal, and she has the ability to use her senses to sense someone's location based upon vibrations in the ground, which I think is absolutely incredible. It's almost like she uses echolocation but through vibrations. I think it's so cool, and so I love that she had her own moment. Next, we have Zuko, and this was a really beautiful one. This was a very beautiful duochrome set in here, and I love that Zuko has the best character arc in the entire show. His story and how he evolves throughout the 3 books is truly incredible. You get to see his journey from like being the ultimate villain to being like the ultimate best friend, and I absolutely love this set. I think it's really beautiful. But I think the one that I think is probably the prettiest of them all is probably Avatar, aka Aang's right here, because it has a beautiful light sky blue, which just kind of reminds me of when Avatar just kind of reminds me when Aang goes into the Avatar state, which is my personal favorite when he goes into the Avatar state, because he is just all powerful. Nothing can destroy him. I also love the light blue they did with this. I think it pairs very beautifully. Now, personally for me, guys, I don't use liquid liners. So for me, this is more of a keepsake because I suck at liquid liners. I'm very open and honest about that. I'm not the biggest fan. So for me, these are absolutely beautiful. You're not going to see me using them in today's video because I don't really use liquid liners, but I'm definitely so excited to have these like as like a keepsake, and maybe I'll use them as like face liners down the line. Next we have Uncle Iroh. We have his highlighter right here. First off, I love that he's in the white dragon state where he shows how powerful he is. And then you're going to have like this duochrome highlighter moment where it shifts between like a white, pink, golden, yellow highlighter, which I am wearing on my face today. Next in this collection we have Sokka. This is going to be a beautiful glitter gel. I think this is absolutely stunning. Now Sokka is supposed to be the funny character of the show. He's the one that breaks in the funny moments when there's serious moments that are happening. He adds his sense of humor to it. He's a great big brother to Katara, and I love how beautiful this is. This is my first time ever playing with a glitter gel from Lethal Cosmetics, and I will say I like that this has no plastic in it, and it's very, very like soft, very blendable. It is easy to take off, so I did have a chance to kind of swatch it. I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then lastly, for what I have, we do have the iconic cabbage spun. Now I did not cabbage spun right here. Now if you guys did not know, this is a huge bit throughout the entire series, is this guy that has a cabbage stand and his cabbages always get destroyed and he always calls it my cabbages. So in the very front you have the avatar symbol, in the very back you do have the cabbages. And it's so funny because in the Fortnite series they did a collaboration with Fortnite and they had quests where you had to go destroy all the cabbages, and so you got to destroy the cabbages and I felt so bad, but I wish they would have done like an emote of like my cabbages. But super freaking cute. I did not want to use this today because I kind of wanted to use this as a keepsake. The last thing I'm going to have in this collection is a Team Azula lip set. This is where it's going to have T. Lee, Azula, and May, which are like the 3 best friends, and they're part of the Fire Nation. I know it's like a variation. I believe they're like different reds. This was not available for me, but this was not available to me when they shipped out this collection. Unfortunately, they didn't have it at the time, but they will have it in time of the launch. So I know the biggest question is, when is everything launching? It's actually launching this Friday, May 31st, 4 p.m. CEST, which will be 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I believe discount codes are not available for this collection. I don't even know if they do discount codes, but I'll have everything about this collection and the palettes all linked down below. So with that said, guys, let me show you the 4 different eye looks that I created using the Lethal collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay, I hope this turns out well because I never really do 4 looks in one video and I normally film them at separate times, so I hope this goes well. So we're going to start off with my favorite bending ability, which will be the water bending ability right here. We're going to go into this palette. So I'm going to take the shade called Wolf Cove right here, and we're going to put this on our outer V and kind of work our way in. So out of all 4 elements, my favorite has always been the water bending ability. And I know that, like, you know, I feel like it's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, it is absolutely my cup of tea because I love the fact that it is a very strong element. Not only can it destroy structures, right, because water is very powerful, but you have the ability to change it into ice. You can turn it into crystals. You could turn it into sharp grenades that shoot off at people. You also have the ability to heal with water. And I think the coolest thing, and I know it's gonna make me sound kind of psychotic, but I love that you can blood bend. Now I think blood bending is really fantastic because then you have the ability to control someone through their blood. Now it's kind of like the same if you look at it for Magneto sense of like X-Men, with like he has the ability to kind of control someone because of the iron inside the blood. Kind of similar, but waterbending has always been my absolute favorite, which is really funny because I think my sign is a water sign and I think Corey's is actually a fire sign. So we're 2 opposing elements that kind of like counteract each other just a little bit if you really think about it. But yeah, waterbending has always been my absolute favorite. I love that you can just control someone. I love you could just control someone with blood, but you could also heal. You could do so much damage. And when they did the Avatar: The Last Airbender collab in Fortnite, the water bending ability that would circle around you and just shoot ice crystals at the opponents was so freaking top tier. Like the ability to knock someone so quickly with water bending, oh my god, it made that weapon of choice so fantastic and kind of made it easy if you're going against sweats or snipers to take them out. And I love the water bending ability, but unfortunately new season started so they had to take it away, but oh my gosh, it was my absolute favorite. When Lethal first announced that they were doing a collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I was like, oh no, like here we go again, because I feel like a lot of brands out there don't really do the collab justice. I know Glamlight would absolutely kill it, but when ColourPop did theirs, I liked the ColourPop, you know, collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I thought it was super cute, but when they actually showed what they were launching, I was like, now this is how a collection's done. They dedicated a palette to every single element, which I really, really appreciated. They have all the names true. They have all the names true to the show. It screams like water bending. It screams like water bending, earth bending, fire bending, and air bending. Like they did a really, really fantastic job. And it kind of makes me want to look at ColourPop a little bit and be like, see, y'all need to step up your game, because if they can do it, so can you. And I think ColourPop might have more of a budget too, because they're a pretty big brand. I'm going to take the shade called Penguin Sledding right here, and we're going to kind of blend that on top to kind of make this blend just a little bit easier, just right here. I'm also going to take the shade called Ice Dodging, and we're going to go along that edge as well. It's like a really light white shade. Now I will say I'm not the biggest fan of how this white shade is formulated, only because it doesn't really give off much pigment. When I swatched it, I was like, I'm not that impressed, but I also realized that white is not one of the easiest shades to work with. So I feel like this is just one of those shades that's really great for using to blend out shadow like this. You know what I mean? Like it's really making it really easy to blend that out. Okay, so now that that's laid down, we're gonna go into the shade called Spirit Oasis right here. This is like this beautiful, beautiful, like I want to say like deep blue, but like it's not. It's just super pretty. We're going to take this and we're going to go right along this edge right here to kind of blend these shades together. Look at how beautiful that is. I will say the litho shimmers are actually quite impressive. I was kind of shocked with how nice the quality of these are. I'm kind of glad there isn't one of those like pressed foils in this one, because I'm kind of glad there's like a pressed foil in this one, because sometimes pressed foils are great, but if there's too much glitter in them, oh my god, they can get everywhere. All right, then I'm gonna take the shade called Kirk right here. This beautiful, it's a beautiful like multi-chrome or duochrome. Oh my god, it's stunning. We're gonna lay that right next to that right here. Do we see just how gorgeous this shade is? The shade right here. We're gonna go right, just like right there. Just that little tiny inner corner moment. Just right there. See, here's the first look right here. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to channel like my inner like water bending ability. I don't know if I'm doing a really good job at it, but I think this is really beautiful. And it kind of makes me wonder why I never really play with blues, because this is absolutely stunning. The formula on this one is really beautiful. The mattes are blending out really easily. I'm noticing some kick up, but not a lot. But this is really nice. Okay, so then for this eye, we're gonna go into my least favorite bending ability, and that's going to be the Earth palette right here. I don't know why, but I just find Earth bending to be my least favorite. I think it's just because like it's cool, but I don't know, like I know Toph, she can bend metal. Like she's Magneto, but for the Avatar world, right? And she can actually sense vibrations throughout the ground, which I think is really sweet. But for some reason, the earth bending, which is all about the second book, by the way, book 2, it's just like my least favorite. I don't know what it is, but the color story is freaking gorgeous. Oh my god, is this color story just top tier, man. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the shade called Wan Shao Tong. Right there. I think I'm saying that one wrong. I love the fact they have Badger Mole in here. Now, the Badger Mole story is actually really cute, because it's about these two lovers that came from 2 different lands that would meet in the middle of the mountain, and they learn how to earthbend based upon the Badger Mole's movement throughout the ground, because they would use their senses to dig holes and build tunnels. And so the Badger Moles taught them essentially how to earthbend, and they were the first earthbenders, because there's 2 opposing forces that fell in love. It's such a sweet story that they tell inside Avatar. And oh my god, I just freaking love the show. And I love that they're just doing such a great job at like paying homage to it. Oh, so freaking sweet. So we're just gonna lay the shadow down right here. Very, very, very pigmented green. Oh, a little bit more pigmented than I thought. Okay, it is super dirty. We're gonna trust the process. I'm gonna go into the shade called Boston Say right here, and we're gonna start to just blend that out on top, just like I did the other shades. I will say that shade is super pigmented. More pigmented than I expected, but we're gonna try to blend this out to make it a little bit more better looking, I guess. This is unbelievably messy. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go into the to 575 right here, and we're gonna try to blend this out just a little bit more, and then we're really gonna focus on cleaning it up. Okay, so then we're going to go in. Okay, so I cleaned it up just a little bit, but now we're going to go into the shade called Badger Mole right here. This is going to be a multi-chrome, almost like a duochrome. It's just doing like a brown and green. I feel like this would be a really pretty shade to put right here, because I really just want to utilize it. Looks like it is one of their foil shades, so hopefully this doesn't get everywhere. But I will say it's like a really pretty coppery green. It's super gorgeous. I'm going to take the shade called Metal Bending right here. We're going to put that right next to that, which I think is a really cool, you have to be a very, very, very strong bender to bend metal. We're going to put that right here. Oh my God, that actually is blending really nicely into that shade. I'm going to take the shade called Kyoshi, which is, there's a whole island of Kyoshi warriors, which are all female warriors. They're dedicated their lives to defend and protect their city, just like the Kyoshi did, who was the last female earthbender. And I'm going to put this, okay, that is a foil shade. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put this right here. Oh, wow. Okay. She's a little bit, oh my gosh, she's blinding. Guys, so I'm just gonna quickly finish dress my face off camera. I'm gonna come back to show you guys the final look, and then we're gonna move on to the other two palettes. Okay guys, so this is the final look for both. So I just quickly went back in with the shade called Swamp Benders, which I totally forgot about was in the show. We have Swamp Benders, and then I blended it out with Water Whip right here. And then I did take the shade called UA, and I put it in the inner corner and brow bone. And then for this eye, I just went in with the shade called Umashu, and then I blended it out with Dali, and we put that right over here. And then I just went in with like a bright neon yellow eyeliner, and then I went in with like an aqua blue, and then I took the White Lotus highlighter and I used that on the face. So this is the two looks that I have right here, one with the water palette and one with the earth palette. Honestly, I think they're both beautiful. Like, I could not tell you which one's my favorite. I think I love them both equally. Like, well, you know, I think if I were to pick one, I think I'd probably pick the water one. I think I'm just kind of a little bit more obsessed with this one, just a tad bit more. I think it's so freaking beautiful. But then I also really do love the earth one too. I think they're gorgeous. I think they are gorgeous. Okay guys, so just like before, we're going to do two different eye looks. On this side, we're going to go in with the Fire palette, aka the Fire Nation. And then on this side, we're going to go in with the Air palette, aka the Air Nation or Air Bending on this side. So fun story, fun fact, my husband is a firebender. Well, he's not a firebender, but like that would be his ability if he can firebend, would be to, if he can like wield any element, would be to firebend. Like I told you guys earlier, mine would be waterbending, because I love the fact that not only can you heal with waterbending, but you have the ability to control with bloodbending. I know it sounds a little weird that I like that, but I just do. But my husband loves the fire element. He loves the colors. He loves the firebending. He also loves the fact that they can wield lightning if they're that strong, or depending on how angry they are, the issues that they have, then they can wield like blue fire. So we're gonna go into this shade right here called Agni Kai. Now, if you guys don't know, if you guys have not seen the show, spoiler alert, it's been out for like 20 years at this point, I swear. It's been out for like at least 15, 16 years. Agni Kai is when Zuko's father challenged him to an Agni Kai, where they're gonna have like a bending off, right? They're gonna battle each other, almost like a duel. Think of it like a duel with like swords. Same exact thing, but this time they're using their fire bending. And unfortunately, Zuko lost because he didn't want to hit his dad. So that's how he got banished. That's how he got the scar on his face, because he got challenged to Agni Kai. I'm so excited. I love this collection so far. They did so good. Okay, so anyway, my husband is, like I said, would always want to be a firebender. Now, when I first got introduced to this series, it actually was by book 3. So I don't really ever tell this story online because, well, frankly, it's just kind of like not no one's business, but like no one's business. My husband came from a very bad background. He had an alcoholic mother. He never knew his father. He had an abusive stepdad. So he came from a very troubled home. And when he was 17, he was kicked out of his home, and he was living in my car. And he only had what he had on him: his book bag, his school uniform, whatever he had on him, that's what he had on him. He happened to have Avatar, The Last Airbender, book 3, like the whole season. So just the 3rd season, the final season. And that's all he had. And then, you know, he was living in my car because we were too scared to tell my parents that Corey got kicked out, and we didn't know where he'd go. And my dad happened to walk outside and catch Corey sleeping in my car, and immediately banged on the window and said, "Get out." And so we're thinking, oh my God, Corey's busted. But my parents are just true saints in this world. And my dad saw him living in the car, brought him inside, gave him a house key, gave him $200, and said, "You live here from now on. No child's gonna be living in the car like that." Because we got together so young. I mean, I was 18 going into college, and he was finishing out his senior year. So my parents took him in, and he's been family ever since. Like, I think that was so amazing that my dad did that. But I told you that story to tell you that, you know, Corey had Avatar: The Last Airbender because he really wanted me to watch that show because it was one of his favorite shows. It was kind of like one of those shows that he can just, I want to say escape to, but like escape the reality of his home life is that show. So he had the third show, he had the third season, and we were like, okay, well, I was like, I'll watch this, but I can't just like watch the third season. It's like, no, you need to watch the other two, you know, book 1 and book 2. Well, Netflix was not, I think Netflix had just became a thing. Oh my God, I'm going to speak like I'm such an old lady. Netflix had just become a thing, but it was like where you had to go and like rent a DVD and it'd be sent to your house. That was the situation. So Blockbuster was still around. So we went to Blockbuster and we were able to rent book 1 and book 2, and we were able to watch the entire Avatar: The Last Airbender. We watched it nonstop. Like that was our pastime to do when we were just starting to date because, like I said, he moved in with us probably about 6 months into our relationship. So we were just starting to date. So that was like something that we loved doing. So we rewatched this show probably 4 times of the animated and 2 times of the live action. And I'm going to go into the shade called Roku, which was the last Airbender, which was the last Avatar before Aang was. And this is a beautiful like burnt copper red, super pretty. We're going to start to put this right here. Oh my God, I love that it's like almost like a multi-chrome because I could see green and gold reflex in this. This is so pretty. Then I'm going to go into Fire Lily, this beautiful, beautiful like burnt orange, which is one of my favorite orange colors. This reminds me so much of Halloween. I am obsessed with this color right here. I'm going to go into Sozin's Comet. Okay, so this is kind of like how we're looking right here. I'm trying to channel my inner Fire Nation. So I'm trying to represent like fire colors. So I think this is also very fall-esque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade called Black Sun, and we're going to use this to line my upper waterline today to blend it in with my false lashes. But before I do that, I'm going to do this eye right here. We're working on blending it all together. It will all come out together nicely. But on this eye, I do want to go in with the Air palette. So this is Avatar Aang's palette right here. And I will say out of all 4 palettes, this one is a little, I don't want to say lackluster because it's not, but like I kind of don't see Avatar in this one. I'm just kind of like, I mean, I guess like what could they do? It's air. Air is kind of hard to channel, right? It's kind of hard to channel. But I do want to play with this today and see what type of look I can create. So I'm going to try to like represent Aang a little bit with maybe like his colors as best as I can. I can't guarantee it, but we're going to try. I don't know if this one foil shade will work with the matte. So we're going to go in with the shade called Egg Tart Custard, and I'm going to use this to blend all along my waterline. I'm going to use this to blend along my crease, but then I'm going to go from my inner to outer because I don't know if this shade's going to work. This is a pastel yellow shades, and usually pastel yellow shades, tend to not work the best. You kind of have to really pack them in. So hopefully this shade will keep its pigmentation to it. We shall see. To be rocking the Kansas Chief colors, but I also feel like I'm kind of rocking a little bit of Ronald McDonald colors. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to start on the inner corner. We're going to go in the shade called Aang right here. The star of the show. We're going to put this in our inner corner. I used to do my makeup like this all the time, and I don't know why I stopped, but I used to always start with from the inner to the outer. And I remember you guys used to always think it was such a unique method that I used to do it like this, but for some reason I stopped. I don't know why I did. I'm going to go into Yip Yip, which is saying that Aang does for Appa, which is his flying bison. And that is how he gets him to move. I'm surprised I don't have a Momo. Where's a Momo in here? I love Momo. All right, then I'm going to take the shade, that yellow shade one more time. And we're going to pack that right next to this foil shade, just like right here. This is not turning out how I envisioned. It's looking a little rough. I'm going to take it off. We're going to redo it. It looks like Tinkerbell sharded on my face. I can't get these glitters to go away. That's the only problem I don't like about this shade Yip Yip. It's just like, look at that. Like it has like, I don't know, like such glitter fallout to it that it's like everywhere. It's everywhere. I'm not trying to turn into Edward Cullen today. Okay, so that is something to just take note of. Be careful when playing with that shade. It definitely is staining the face and it's not the easiest to work with. So just a little heads up. be cautious when using Yip Yip. Now we're gonna go into the shade called Glider. I'm just gonna try something different because I don't know if this is gonna work. This palette's a little bit more complicated for me because I feel like a lot of the shades in here, I don't know if they really complement each other as much as I think they would. Oh my god, this glitter is freaking everywhere. This is looking so bad because of the freaking makeup. Oh my. The makeup wipe. This is so irritating. This is really aggravating. Why do brands have shadows that work? Like, why do brands have shadows that do this? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, this is looking so bad and muddy. It's because, like, it's not wanting to stay now because I had to clean my face up. Oh, that's so irritating. It looks horrible. Not gonna lie. It's very patchy. It's not even the eyeshadow palette's fault. It's the fact that I use this Garnier micellar water to help clean it up. And this makes it so difficult to, like, look at that. Makes it so difficult to put makeup on top of that. I try wiping it off, but it's causing my eyeshadow to be very blendy, and now my eye's starting to hurt. So we're just going to have to keep moving forward, y'all. I'm so sorry that this is looking really bad. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a shade called Moon Peach right here. We're just going to try to push forward, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're going to try to put this shade right here. This is a really beautiful shade. And then we're going to go back into Aang one more time. And then right next to that, we're actually going to go in with Gyatso right here. Really pretty, like, shade. Try to just lay this down right here. Okay, so this is kind of like what we're looking at for the Air one right now. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to quickly just try to clean up my face, come back my lashes on, and then we will see what the final look looks like. So here's like the final look with the two Fire and Airbending palette. I have to quickly say that I really think this is a beautiful palette. I did just go in with the shade called Fire Sages right here just to kind of put on the bottom waterline, and I feel like it's really pretty. I did try to use the White Lotus highlighter, but it just wasn't really like blending well on my skin. I don't know why. So I just went in with my Iconic London highlighter on this side and kind of topped on this side, but I did use this as an inner corner and brow highlight. And then for this eye, I just went in with the same shades that I use for the crease shades. I just went in with Sky Bison and Glider, these two right here, kind of put on the bottom. But this is the final look between both. I have to say, between the two palettes, I definitely prefer the Fire palette well over the Air palette. But here is the two looks using the Fire palette and the Air palette. Okay guys, so those are all four looks using the Lethal Cosmetics collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed with this collection. I think they did such a great job bringing this collection to life. Like, when I compare this to what ColourPop did, like, no offense to ColourPop, but they don't even come close to touching to what Lethal did. Lethal truly brought the Avatar: The Last Airbender to life. They really brought every single element. They brought every single shade, color, name. They really put so much thought and effort into this. I'm thoroughly impressed. I still think my two favorite palettes are the Earth and Water palette. I just absolutely am obsessed with the Alex had created. I really do enjoy the Firebending one, surprisingly enough, just because reds are not really my color. The only one that I was just kind of disappointed in is the Airbending one. Is the Air palette, just because I had that struggle with the Yip Yip shade. As pretty as it is, definitely had some struggle there, but I still think it's a really pretty palette nonetheless. I really do love the makeup bag. I think the makeup bag is just so iconic. The eyeliners, even though I didn't get a chance to play with them, they swatched really beautifully. The Cabbage sponge is super cute. I didn't get to play with the lip set, but I'm sure that's gorgeous. The only thing that I was kind of iffy on is the White Lotus highlighter right here. While I do think it's really pretty, like when the light hits it, just when I turn forward, it definitely does give me a great cast, and it's not as like pigmented as I want it to be. I'm more of like a wet type of highlighter where it really gives a high shine, and this just kind of, you know, sits on top of skin. So it's not my favorite. However, I will say I do love Uncle Iroh like there's no tomorrow. I love his obsession with tea, and I love that he's part of the White Lotus club, and I just think this is a really cute nod to it. So that is the entire Lethal Cosmetics collaboration with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think they absolutely slayed this collection. I'm really impressed, and this is definitely going to be a keepsake for me. This is a collection that I will never get rid of because I love Avatar: The Last Airbender so much, and they truly, truly did this collab justice. This is how collab should be done. I think other brands need to take note. This is how collab should be done. aka ColourPop, take note. So thank you so much to Lethal Cosmetics for sending me this collection. I'll have everything about this collection linked down below, where you guys can get it, how much the price points and everything are. But seriously, if you guys are a huge Avatar Last Airbender fan, you're not gonna want to miss this. So with that said, guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, so I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful page members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.